Donald Trump just wrapped up a disastrous press conference with Argentina's President Javier Milei. Donald Trump announcing the United States would be doing a $20 billion bailout for Argentina after all of the mismanagement by Javier Milei. Let me show you what went down at this disastrous press conference. Donald Trump just started whining and unraveling and yelling at the press. He looked at an ABC reporter and said, "You're fake news. Stephanopoulos, Stopolopoulos, whatever. We're not doing questions from you. You hurt our feelings." Watch this. How embarrassing. Here, play this clip.
Your ABC fake news.
First of all, congratulations.
I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead.
Yes, sir. First of all, congratulations.
Then Donald Trump continues to attack George Stephanopoulos after that disastrous appearance by J.D. Vance over the weekend, where J.D. Vance was throwing that weirdo temper tantrum, and Trump continues, "Oh, he's Slopadopoulos." This is what Donald Trump is doing in this bailout meeting with the president of Argentina as 20 million Americans are losing their health care. Donald Trump giving $20 billion to Argentina. Make that make sense. Here, play this clip.
Like JD went through a very friendly interview with George Slopadopoulos, who was nice enough to pay me $16 million the last time we came. He had to pay $16 million to me, which was good. It was worth having somebody lie. If you get $16 million, that's good. But JD had a very nasty person interviewing him, and we can't let that happen. Just as inappropriate to cut off a highly respected Vice President of the United States mid-sentence. I guess it's one way to win an argument. That was the only way he was going to win the argument. So it was pretty inappropriate. I want to tell you that.
But Donald Trump says that it's the Democrats who are getting killed on the shutdown, Donald Trump says, and he goes, "We're going after all the Democrat programs, not the Republican ones. We're going after any program that a Democrat liked. We're shutting those programs down in the government." What the hell are you even talking about? I mean, do you mean like people at the CDC who helped like stop measles and mumps and rubella outbreak? Because those are the types of people you've been firing. Play this clip.
Ceiling problem for.
Is there a point where you would reach out to
all parties?
Here's what's
happening in the shutdown, though. Honestly, can I put it in plain words for you? And you're a smart guy, so you all understand, but a lot of people don't. The Democrats are getting killed on the shutdown because we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we were opposed to. So we're being able, and they're never going to come back in many cases. So we're being able to do things that we were unable to do before. So we're closing up programs that are Democrat programs that we wanted to close up or that we never wanted to happen. And now we're closing them up.
Then Donald Trump says that even though Argentina needs a bailout or else they're going to go bankrupt, and that's why the United States, for whatever reason, is giving them $20 billion, Trump goes, but the thing is, Javier Milei is on the verge of an economic miracle. Donald Trump is such a freaking fraud in everything he says. Here, play this clip.
Part of the campaign. And then he called me, he wanted a lot more. And I said, when does it stop? When will it stop? And it stopped with him winning. And he's become very popular. And he's on the verge of a breakthrough, I think. I think he's really on the verge of tremendous economic success. And I know that Scott Bessent is helping. And our great Scott is doing the job, and he feels very strongly about it.
By the way, this press conference was such a disaster. Argentina's stock market has been basically plummeting in real time during that press conference. It fell over 2% while this meeting was taking place. So then after Donald Trump was bragging about permanently cutting Democrat programs, whatever the hell that means, Trump says, "We're not closing Republican programs." Here, play this clip.
And now we're closing them up. And we're not going to let them come back. The Democrats are getting killed. And we're going to have a list of them on Friday, closing up some of the most egregious, socialist, semi-communist, probably not full communist, we're saving that for New York, but semi-communist programs. And we're closing them up. We're not closing up Republican programs because we think they work. So the Democrats are getting killed.
Then Donald Trump goes into this weird rant about California Governor Gavin Newsom, who he's just so jealous about. And Donald Trump says, I saved California. You know, I had to turn on a valve and that put out the fires. And Governor Newsom refused to turn on the magical valve that was in the Northwest. And that was the issue. So I put out the fires. This is just some deranged, stupid lies. Like it's stupidity and it's weird and it's unhinged. Like, what the hell are we even doing here? Here, play this clip.
World Cup. I could say the same thing for the Olympics because, we have events that are in different locations for the Olympics. It's based in LA. If I thought LA was not going to be prepared properly, I would move it to another location if I had to. On that one, I'd probably have to get a different kind of a permission, but we would do that. Gavin Newsom, he's got to get his act together because had we not gone in at the beginning of my term, had we not gone in with a very strong, powerful force, they would have lost LA. Now, you already lost 25,000 houses to fires. You got a big scar right in the middle of the city. And that should have never happened because they should have had the water flowing in from the Pacific Northwest. All they had to do was open up the valves. He didn't want to do it. And he didn't want to do it. He says for environmental reasons. I don't believe that. But, for some reason, he didn't want to do it. Lost 25,000. You had no water in the fire pumps. You had no water in the sprinkler systems in the ceilings. There were no houses. Normally, the things would go in the. You might not have lost. You might not have lost 2 houses. So if he doesn't play ball, we're going to have to be very tough with him. He's done a bad job. Just to finish off on that, so when we went in, we did a phenomenal job. We went in with great force, and that was the end of it. We put it out. We extinguished that fire, which was agitation, and it was a very dangerous position to be in. And we went in and did a great job. But the chief, said we could have never done this without President Trump and without the federal government coming in. Okay, that was it. He said that.
This episode of the MeidasTouch podcast is brought to you by Wild Grain. Wild Grain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for artisanal breads, seasonal pastries, and fresh pastas. Plus, all items conveniently bake in 25 minutes or less. Unlike store-bought, Wild Grain uses a slow fermentation process that's easier on your belly, richer in nutrients and antioxidants, and made with simple ingredients you can actually pronounce. Their boxes are fully customizable, and they're always adding seasonal and limited time products. In addition to their classic box, they now offer a gluten-free box and a plant-based box. I recently tried their fall seasonal items, the apple cider donuts and the pumpkin cinnamon biscuits, and wow. Baked them straight from frozen in under 25 minutes, and my whole kitchen smelled like autumn. Their flavor was incredible, the texture perfect, and honestly, it felt like something straight out of a bakery. Wild Grain makes it so easy to have fresh, quality baked goods ready for family meals, back-to-school lunches, or just a cozy fall indulgence. This fall, treat yourself and your loved ones to warm sourdough breads and seasonal baked goods from Wild Grain. Rumor has it they have apple cider donuts and pumpkin cinnamon biscuits. I tried them, so get them before these seasonal items sell out. For a limited time, Wild Grain is offering our listeners $30 off your first box, plus free croissants in every box when you go to wildgrain.com/Meidas to start your subscription. You heard me, free croissants in every box and $30 off your first box when you go to wildgrain.com/Meidas. That's wildgrain.com/Meidas, M-E-I-D-A-S, or you can use promo code Meidas at checkout. Do not miss their seasonal products.
And Donald Trump continues, and he goes, and you know what? Los Angeles was about to be taken over if I didn't stop it. I stopped the fires by turning on the valve, and I stopped it from getting taken over. It was me. Dude, what are you talking about? You deranged sicko. Here, play this clip.
That was it. He said that. Now, 2 or 3 weeks later, he said, we could have done it. But he knows he couldn't. The city was going to be taken over if I didn't go in. And you have to remember that. Los Angeles was going to be taken over. And we have it where the chief said it, I believe, numerous times. But that was as it was happening. That was a rough one. That was nasty. And if we saw a situation like that, yeah, we'd be forced to make a move. Boston better clean up their act. That's all I can say. Go ahead. One more question.
What are you talking about? Dude's making up $18 trillion. He's turning on magical valves that are putting out fires. I mean, he's like literally an insane maniac. And stop treating this idiot, this vile piece of trash, like he's some normal. Give him zero respect. You see, what is this behavior? I mean, for real, what is this idiotic behavior? And then he goes, but groceries are down, everybody. No, they're not. What are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
And you had the greatest inflation. The last administration had the greatest inflation in the history of our country. And now, as you know, groceries are down. It's all down.
But on the shutdown, are you settling?
And then he says regarding Javier Milei, if he doesn't win, we are not going to help Argentina. If you don't pick the candidate I want, the MAGA puppet who's bankrupting Argentina the way Trump's bankrupting the United States, then we're not going to support Argentina anymore. I wonder if that's why the markets in Argentina don't like that manipulation. Here, play this clip.
But I guess they do it for votes. So I'm with this man because his philosophy is correct. And he may win and he may not win, but I think he's going to win. And if he wins, we're staying with him. And if he doesn't win, we're gone.
How come the Argentina?
Then Donald Trump, while boasting about Argentina, a failing country, he attacks Spain. What you should know about Spain is it is the fastest growing major economy right now in all of Europe. Spain's economy keeps growing. Why is the country doing so well? Of course, countries that do well, states that do well, people who do well, that's who Donald Trump hates. Why? He's a lifelong loser. He's a lifelong person who has bankrupted his own companies over and over again. And you see what he's doing right now with the United States government with this shutdown. You see why he's bankrupted most of the things he's touched. He's got the opposite of the MeidasTouch. Here, play this clip.
Yeah,
please, behind you. Behind you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week you said that NATO should consider expelling Spain.
What?
You said that NATO should consider expelling Spain. Would you support that?
What is
NATO consider expelling Spain.
Oh. I'm very unhappy with Spain. They're the only country that didn't raise up their number to 5%. Every other country in NATO raised up to 5%. And Spain is doing very well off our backs. So I'm not happy with Spain. Spain gets protection, and they know, look, they're sort of in the semi-middle of it, so they're going to get protected automatically. Even if you don't want to protect them, you're protecting them because of the way they're located. And I think what Spain did is a very bad thing for NATO. I think it's very unfair to NATO. It wouldn't matter if you said you're not going to protect them because they're pretty much protected. What are you going to do? Go through the other countries and let's go attack Spain, right? So I think what they did is not nice. I think it's very disrespectful to NATO. In fact, I was thinking about giving them trade punishment through tariffs because of what they did. And I may do that. I think unbelievably disrespectful. Spain, the only one out of all the countries in NATO, the only one that said that is Spain. And I think I think they should be punished for that. Yes.
Then there was this weird interaction between him and Hegseth. Watch what went down.
We had a chance to go along on the historic trip of Middle East peace, which our generation of veterans never dreamed would be possible. So you would think that the Pentagon press corps of all press corps would be front and center across the board on wanting to give credit to the president for forging this kind of peace. And instead, what they want to talk about is a policy about them, which simply says maybe the policy should look like the White House or other military installations where you have to wear a badge that identifies that you're press, or you can't just roam anywhere you want. It used to be, Mr. President, the press could go anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the Pentagon.
And then here's an issue that I've been bringing up over and over again. While corporate news wanted to spike the football and act like, oh, there's now peace in the Middle East. And I'm like, what are you talking about? There is a temporary ceasefire. Donald Trump brought back 20 hostages. That's good. And a ceasefire is a good thing. Bringing back the hostages is a good thing. Biden brought back 140 hostages. 83% of hostages returned was former President Biden. He did not spike the football and say, give me a Nobel Peace Prize. Why? Because if you know the history of the region, you know there's been lots of starts and stops to ceasefires, wars, on and off. It is a delicate situation. And where Donald Trump has not addressed the issue of a two-state solution or doesn't agree with one, where Hamas and Israel did not even sign the ceasefire agreement, or what they call a peace deal. They were not signatories to it, where Hamas says it is not disarming, where Israel says it's about to go and attack the Hamas tunnels. Explain to me what is a deal when the parties don't even sign it? Like, what am I missing? At the most basic levels, Israel and Hamas are not signatories, but Trump says, I spoke to Hamas. They said, yes, sir, we will disarm, sir, so I trust them, sir. Here, play this clip.
But we have told them we want to disarm, and they will disarm. And if they don't disarm, we will disarm them. And it'll happen quickly and perhaps violently. But they will disarm. Do you understand me?
Yes. You say
because everyone says, oh, well, they won't disarm. They will disarm. And I spoke to Hamas. And I said, you're going to disarm, right? Yes, sir, we're going to disarm. That's what they told me. They will disarm or we will disarm them. Got it?
Then a reporter says, how is this benefiting the United States that you're giving $20 billion to Argentina? And Trump goes, well, we're helping a great philosophy. No, he's your MAGA puppet. It's not helping America. Instead of helping 20 million Americans losing healthcare, you're giving $20 billion to Argentina because he's a MAGA puppet. And also, your rich friends have invested in lithium mines and other things in Argentina, and they're about to lose their money, so you're bailing out your billionaire buds. Here, play this clip.
Yes, President, for Argentina, what's the benefit for United States in helping this way Argentina?
Just helping a great philosophy take over a great country. Argentina is one of the most beautiful countries that I've ever seen. And we want to see it succeed. It's very simple. I mean, we don't have to do it. It's not going to make a big difference for our country, but it will in terms of South America. If Argentina does well, you're going to have others following, and a lot of others are following. You have countries in South America that 2 years ago would have never even been thought of to go as democracies or as just countries that want to do fair and balanced trading. And now you mentioned Bolivia, but there are numerous other countries that are coming our way.
More whining about Donald Trump saying the teleprompter turned off. Let's play it.
I met him at the United Nations before I went up to speak, and then I found that I didn't have a speech because I had no teleprompter. They turned off my teleprompter purposely. They made it impossible for me. But it didn't silence me. I spoke without, and it was a good speech. It was a good speech. But no, I think of that. You go into the United Nations, I'm speaking in front of 158 leaders and the whole world. And I look at my teleprompter and it's dead. They killed my teleprompter. They wouldn't let the man that operated into the booth. Can you believe that?
And then Donald Trump threatens Boston and other cities where the World Cup games are expected to take place. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, Boston had some street takeovers that we saw. Are you going to work with or try and work with the mayor of Boston? And then they have a World Cup. They have several World Cup games. I know Argentina knows about World Cups. They have several World Cup games. Could those games move to cities that do work with you?
We could take them away. I love the people of Boston. I know the games are sold out. But your mayor is not good. They're worse than her. At least she's intelligent. Some are extremely low IQ. Those bother me more. She's intelligent, but she's radical left. And they're taking over parts of Boston. That's a pretty big statement, right? We could get them back in about 2 seconds. All she has to do is call us. We'll go in and take them back.
There you have it. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.